My baby dolls, welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Bitcoin around $63,000, still stuck in the range. How many days has it been now? It has been 210-ish days so far, but really no one's complaining. Why? The September candle for the month is green. And we know, hey, September, we were looking at a pretty poopy time, weren't we? But it just manages to claw itself back up, and we're happy that it's just not going down to poopy town. And once again, if we do a plus 55% move, which is the median for Q4 in an election year, it is about $98,000 for Bitcoin. Boy, oh boy, I can see this happening, man. Vince, it's going to be like, it's going to come down to the wire here. Once again, you know, so it's always, it's going to be really interesting. What comes next? What comes next? Imagine we get to that $98,000 mark by the end of the year. Then everyone's going to be nervous again. Why? Because if that happens, if we get to the $98,000 mark, everyone's going to say, well, it's 2025. What if the economy of US cracks? What about the yield curve? What if it cracks? They're cutting rates. They only cut rates because things go down. And Bitcoin hit 100K already. It hit the dream. It's got the Bitcoin spot ETF and it hit 100K. But just something in my nuts, friends. Something in my heavy steel titanium nuts is telling me that a 100K sell area is the noob pleb area to get rid of Bitcoin or crypto. Something's telling me that. But look, it doesn't mean, well, of course, I hope we go up here and then we just keep going up. I hope that. But we could always go to this 100K, friends. Retailers, friends, they don't sell the 100K zone at 100K. They don't do that. Instead, what happens is there's a jip down, a jippity blue bar where we just dump down like here. They get rid of it here. You understand? They go, oh, crap, we've rejected off 100K. Let me get out. And then that actually ends up coming up and then they got to buy back in. That's usually how it works. Sound familiar? So that's, friends, I know how these plebs work. They don't go and like, oh, I'm going to sell 100K. No, you're not. You're not going to sell 100K, bro. You're going to sell 75K, which is going to be 25% off the Bitcoin top, but you're not even going to sell Bitcoin because you have a lot of altcoins like the rest of us. You're going to be selling them at 60% off the top, wherever they stop. And they're going to buy back in later, okay? Don't be one of those people. By the way, if that's a generational top, it's your fault and my fault as well. It just seems so like, why 100K? Like, why should the crypto industry stop there? Like, dude, we're so small, man. We're the world assets is 900 trillion and total crypto is only 2 trillion. Like, at least get us to 10 trillion, man. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Now, something else we've got to see. The emphatic muscular recovery of Ethereum. Remember, Vitalik started singing and now he said, this is so trash. Like, but you just have one great. this is what everyone's like, oh, wow, you stopped going down for once. No. You're so far behind. But third cycle curse, man. Look, friends, you've been watching me for a long time. And I'm just shocked at how I get these prophecies. And I'm always like, don't worry, that one's happening in a long time from now. Nah, it starts happening. I'm like, damn it. The one I'm scared about is a self-custody ban. But I'm feeling that might actually be a next bear market type of story. Right? That might be it. They might do some plans and stuff. You never know, friends. Like, it's don't worry about Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is not even read in to UFOs. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've told him some stuff. They haven't told him everything, okay? Because they know they're scared he's going to talk, of course. And then they got to kill him, and it's like, revolution overnight. So if he doesn't know something, it's so easy to manipulate people out there. If you're the president, they send special advisors and stuff to go talk to you. You don't know absolutely everyone's intentions. There's snakes everywhere. And look, I just told you, I'm sitting on a squeaky chair wearing a bull hat. Moo! Telling you, it's so easy, man. Just hire one of the Coconut Intelligence Agency funded operatives, one of the spies out there, and in one of the Middle East countries, and just start trading like drugs and weapons, nuclear weapons, and do terrorist financing on the Bitcoin network. There you go. Just all they have to do is, I'm not joking, bomb one school. They will bomb one school, and they'll go, oh, we found the payment for this school funding of this terrorist act where they blew up the school came off the Bitcoin network. Golly gee, we have to go investigate. Oh, gosh, we got to regulate stuff, There you go. 2 seconds, man. So easy, friends. What, you think everyone else out there watching their television as they're eating their pasta at night, ravioli pasta, do you think they're going to come out and say, wow, let me go look up your friend Sommi on YouTube to see the truth, the light? No, man. They got the radio. Everyone's spamming the airwaves. It's just going to overtake. It's so easy to brainwash everyone, man. Just keep flooding the information in their heads. So that's what we might have to look forward to. But hopefully for now, we just get to see this crypto cycle continue without too much trouble. This is the Bitcoin dominance, friends. Of course, friends, whenever you see things like this, don't ever try just to call tops, but you just know, like, you're in a dangerous point, man. It's just like, well, it's kind of like when you're selling Bitcoin at $20,000. Yeah, it went to 16, but selling at $20,000 is still dangerous. Look how dangerous and stupid that looks now. Well, that's what we might find out in the future in 6 to 12 months when it comes to the Bitcoin dominance. Maybe it'll be like, oh, wow, having a complete maxi approach where nobody gives a shit about decentralization coming in, and you know this. Like, I just remember in the Bitcoin halving year, we have a mushroom pop up, which represents product market fit discovery. We have a discovery. You understand? It's like a eureka moment. In 2012, we had proof of work, and they forked and made Litecoin. Okay. In 2016, it was payment solutions, and then we had smart contracts, so that you're paying for smart contract usage, right? That's Ethereum. You get it? Then in 2020, we had Uniswap, right? You know this. Okay, we had something happen in 2024. Millions of people have come in. They couldn't give two poops about decentralization. They don't care. Now, you care. I care. Yes, we care. We're already in. We can't move the price. They can. You get it? They came in. They start swapping JPEGs on Pump Fund. They start moving into Solana. They start buying meme coins. They buy AI coins, and there's no AI in the coin. It looks like an AI team with a white paper. They're here to speculate in bull market speculation vehicles. They're basically making memes and communities around ideas. Okay, that's what's been happening this year. But people continue to fade it, and I guess we'll see how the market plays out for them. Now, baby dolls, Kamala Harris has finally mentioned crypto with a simple statement. So, very disappointing, actually. So she says, I promise to grow AI and digital assets if elected president. That's all she said. What a bummer. 1 out of 10. I'm not even going to give you 1. 0. I promise to grow them. What a load of crap. That's a policy. Okay, cool. She's going to promise. Come on, bro. Donald Trump, by comparison, friends, there's like a whole list of things, but just off the cuff here, he says, well, you're going to have self-custody. We're going to leave you alone with that. Okay. He also said, we're going to fire Gary Gensler. We're going to put deregulation on you guys because we want America to be having this new tech wave, right? We've got to make them first in AI, make them first in crypto. And also, he talked about keeping Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Here's the thing, friends. You know, like, of the 5 promises he made, I'm not joking, 4 of them he can be talking out of his ass. He just needs to give us 1. That is a huge win itself. Any of those is a huge win. Any of those. Just 1. And guess what? It doesn't even matter. He's getting people excited, friends. Whether the government gives a tick or a cross to something, it doesn't matter. You understand? Crypto is pragmatically a better system. So just them talking about it is shilling our bags. You see? It's bringing everyone's attention to it. And that's how ultimately we win. I also saw the US Polygon, the US elections, 47% Trump, 52% Kamala Harris. I've got no idea what the hell's going on with that. By the way, I think Mr. Handsome Finance, he actually found the wallets who were doing this manipulation spoofing. But I don't know if it was just trying to rig stuff and things, or, you know, to do whatever. Now, as we move close to the election, it's probably going to really, really come down to the wire. Because, look, this is 100%. They're trying something. They're trying something. Even Arthur Hayes is still convinced we have the global liquidity index. They're really going to try, bring out the big guns and launch a bazooka right into, I mean, they're going to probably launch a bazooka at Trump as well. Assassination attempt number 3. But they're really going to see this. See what's been happening, friends? This is it. See how they are climbing up this, right? But also there's a Treasury General Account, TGA. Yeah, it's been storing money. They print money and just send it there. Okay, and then they're going to really probably start blowing it right into the election. Make everything really, really sweet. They know the stats, man. They know the stats. They know, oh, well, friend, it might be literally, the election is November 5. Maybe literally October 5, like exactly 1 month to go, they just start smashing it. They just start spending, loans, stimulate. Eric Weinstein as well said there's many journalists, it's basically been leaked that a big thing is coming where there might be like a international collusion of ceasefire to make it look good just so Trump doesn't get in. Isn't it funny? Like US government, US president, so Democrats, Russia, many other leaders around the world, they don't want Trump to get in because they know when he gets in, basically it's like this. Friends, do you ever have a substitute teacher at school? They were the funnest. No one ever listened. You could do whatever you want. Everyone's yelling. It felt sorry for him for a bit. But it was fun. It was always fun. It was always fun, substitute teacher. And then the real teacher comes in later and everyone's having to like sit up straight. And everyone's like, oh man, Miss is back. That's boring. She's going to make us like do homework and stuff. Well, it's exactly like that. Like he's the school principal, Donald Trump coming in. He's like, all right, I'm going to stop this while I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then yes. So that's funny how these world leaders are all acting. And yes, they actually have a weapon here against it though. They have these money printers. So I guess we'll see like if October becomes Uptober straight away. Now, baby dolls, I want to show you this from Uncle Bobby. First, this is the channel. We're still in this channel here. And we're around here. Bitcoin, as I'm recording, hit 62.5K, 62. I mean, who gives a shit, dude? Just don't give us a red September. We don't give a crap. Now, Uncle Bobby, friends, is hyper bullish. Okay. And I really love hearing this. Look at this. Uncle Bobby. In fact, what's more likely is that this era of digital transformation is reaching a point where it unlocks unimaginable productivity gains, a period of hypergrowth. You won't fare so well hiding in your bunker, okay? So, oh, fine, Keanu Reeves, fine, but Uncle Bobby still believes the official 9/11 narrative, so he may not be the best judge of this subject. Yeah, you gotta understand, so Mr. Keanu Reeves there. People, I think Uncle Bob is either a boomer, very late stage, Gen Xer, probably late 50s and stuff. They grew up in a different time, man. They grew up listening to the news anchor. They got their gelled hair. They're doing the weather report. And now for the weather report. And they're like, hey, and that's why I drink soy milk, recommended by my doctor. Like those types of guys, and they have community presence. They're the influencers of the time. Now, bro, where's your bull hat, huh? Where's your helicopter hat? I'll listen to the guy in a helicopter hat who's smoking a fake ciggy prop. By the way, I got family friend comments. I got family comments, and I've seen in your comments, it's a fake prop, okay? It's a fake prop. Now, when I first heard it, I was dying. I was literally dying of laughter. I go, oh my gosh, they think it's an actual real ciggy. It's real to me, damn it. Now, back to Uncle Bobby, friends. Hypergrowth. He's talking about AI. He's talking about crypto, but AI is ass intelligence. It is the bullish macro undertone that's lifting crypto because AI is lifting the whole US economy. Now, how is it lifting the whole economy? Well, the market will price in the deflation of workers, the deflation of wages and expenses that need to be paid because AI is it's moving at hypersonic speed. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs real fast. Like you see, friends, remember, it's literally a year and a half ago, everyone was like, oh, AI is trash. They can't even do the fingers right. That's done. That's all. We're already on hypersonic speed creations of art and music and things already. Imagine what's going to happen in a year. So I mentioned in here, friends, this is very, very important for you to grasp. So you want to know, like, hey, how the hell do we know that this stock market, how do we know it's not going to drop down? How do we know it's not going to drop down? See this? Well, friends, firstly, we never know. We never know. But I'll just put on a monthly chart just to show you. And I have brought it for you here. Now, this is what happened, friends. You see here, we had, look, this is the 1987 crash where stocks went 30% down in a day and everybody thought the Great Depression is here. That might be like our zombie virus. Okay, so we go up, we have a black swan. That was actually it's called the black swan crash, okay? Actually call it that. And this was actually, by the way, I think this was the crash that Nassim Taleb, the guy who wrote the Black Swan book, I think he actually made like millions and millions and millions of dollars back here. I think it was here, okay, if I remember correctly. I'm betting on some crash. Or it might have been something else. But next thing, friends, we have the economy goes up and goes up only up here. But now we hit a critical point. You see this part here? This was the internet tech stock boom. So techs were around here, but then they went into overdrive, all right? And pretty much the internet came to change the world. really did communication and everything out here. Now it just kept going up and up and up and up and up, and then like obviously had this like these big years to do this. But here's the interesting part with the S&P 500. If you just draw this line here, right, it looks like it's on track. You see that? You see that? But look what it actually does. It goes way above the trend, friends, for look at this, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. So it deviates from the trend for like 4 to 5 years, because that's how powerful the internet was, to internet and tech stocks. So we don't know if that's going to happen again, and maybe the Fed tries to stop this. You don't know, but you could, like, it wouldn't surprise us if this is the trend out here. I know these numbers are crazy, but if the stocks go like this and they do this something ridiculous out here, and then we have like this in 2028, we have this, you know, this recession, we have to do something like that. We have this 10 years of period crappy. So what I've done is basically I've drawn an up-only line. That's what Uncle Bobby's talking about, where he says, well, you're going to have unimaginable price growth, productivity growth, because AI is just going to do everything faster for everyone. And the markets, first, it's going to come out. So, friends, there's a lot of doubters out there. There's a lot of bears about it. But once it starts to convince everybody, that's still not over. If we're going to have the hyper bubble, right, then we have to convince everybody that it's never, ever going to be toppled ever. Just like I have with tech stocks. But look at this, friends. Like, tech stocks went for 5-6 years in the bubble part, you know, like. So if you got out of techs in 96, 97, 98, big mistake. It was only in the late 99s, in 1 year, it did this enormous pump and this enormous dump. And in that late 99, that's when you saw retailers get destroyed. They were all buying the top of stock companies. You had Cisco became the world's largest market cap company. That's when Microsoft hit its 500x, right? You had all these big things happening. That's when everyone, all the IT nerds had retired. I wonder if crypto gets to be that same size. So we'll see. Now, everyone is still concerned about interest rates and stuff, but, you know, really, friends, you still have the Russell 2000 leading us as a barometer. And with all these macro things, honestly, friends, we don't know, man. Look, remember at the beginning of the year, I said, look, if they're gonna cut rates now, around here, right, September-ish, remember we were waiting for like 5-6 months. I said, well, it's possible we are in a bubble at that point. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my weekly chart and just show you. Well, we'll play some pump music as well while we see it, friends, because we had some hope here. Now, do you remember back at the beginning of the year, friends? They're going to cut in September. So remember, I drew one of my scenarios. I was like, well, if we run up, you remember May, July? See, we came back down here for Bitcoin. We came back down. Well, what if we didn't come back down? I thought, remember, we were like hopeful. What if we just kept running up and up and up, and then in September, we have like this like rate cut mania? And I was like, oh, crap, everybody's like bought turbo long into the rate cuts. Maybe then we get the crash. So that was one possible scenario. But we actually end up in the same place. So if you draw this scenario, we end up in the same place. See how we go up and then down? Well, look, our one, we just went sideways garbage. And maybe we just end up in the same place, friends. You never know. Usually what happens with markets is if you draw a long line, you're like, okay, you're getting to this big part in the future. You're getting this price. You just don't know how. It's going to go up then down first, down then up first, sideways, squiggly lines. You don't know how it's going to get there. That's short-term trading. And that's literally everyone's just full-on astrology. It literally is, okay? I'm one of the only guys telling you it's literally astrology for men. I'm not even joking. It's like, oh, it's going to go down then up first, up then down. You just see it time and time again. It's like people at the roulette table going, oh, I'm feeling 3 reds in a row. No. Red, black. You know what I mean? Like those guys. You know, just, yeah, that's the game, man. That's the game. So this is a scenario. We got a long distribution here. Actually, long distributions have nice up-only runs. So that'll be fun. I wanted to quickly show you some ChainLink stuff, friends, as well. Because ChainLink, like, it's funny, man. This is the link-ETH ratio. It's on a log chart as well, the log chart of COPE. Okay, but a lot of the ChainLink community, they're not taking these things seriously. They are still stuck in 2020 mode when ChainLink was the contrarian thing, and even Vitalik hated it. That was a cycle 1 coin. Now it's cycle 2. Same as many other coins. Never in crypto does a cycle 2 coin, right, group start to pump in the Bitcoin halving year. It doesn't. You only had Solana this year. That was a unicorn. You had 5 out of 500 coins. That was literally it. Remember them, friends? We had Fetch, we had Floki, we had BNB, we had Solana, and then we had one more. Injective. That's right. 5 coins out of 500 from last cycle moved in this year. So When do they start to move? It only happens, like I said, when do they start to move? You need all the US stocks in expansion. Right now, it's the Russell 2000 lagging. In previous cycles, it was like Mr. Dow Jones, but we need the Russell 2000 to expand, and as that expands, that's pushing up Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going up as well in that period of time. We don't have that yet. So when that happens, and then okay, when's that gonna happen? We don't know. We just hope it comes soon. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And because you are a cycle 2 coin, your market cap is bigger. You have more diminished gains. That's it. So that's why, like, ChainLink's great. All these other coins are great, friends. They're great, but man, Impulse Chain, friends, it's literally as free money as you can get if this works out. You know what I mean? You don't have a world where Bitcoin goes to 200K and then these communities just die. How's that going to happen, by the way? The communities were still pumping when Bitcoin is 15K. You think they're going to be more quiet or more loud when Bitcoin's 200K or even 100K, right? So even though you're looking at Pulse Chain, only had some red down the past 24 hours, who gives a shit about that? 7 days, they're still up. HEX, which is a better Bitcoin, up 40%. Inc, the greenest logo, up 30%. Pulse, better Ethereum, and then PulseX, better than Unisoy, 27%. They're great numbers to start see these come around. But you can buy it into an ecosystem, bro. Like that's the funnest and best part about it, right? Hey, you want the oldest meme in the world? Ancient Romans were drawing dicks on the wall. Well, here you have dick with butt, and literally it looks like a Pokemon. It's a human creation Pokemon. It's all inclusive as well. Okay? Everyone in the world's got a butt. See? So that you can't get that on a lot of these other coins. You can't. There's no ecosystem to participate in. There's no leverage on the ecosystem winning. Remember with Solana, friends? Solana did a 10x. Bonk did 150. You see? So Bonk gave you 15 times whatever Solana did. Now, that was a unicorn. 15 times. Here's the thing, man. You don't even need it to be such a big multiplier in Pulse. You just need it like a 3x, dude. If you have a lottery ticket, if you just do 3x on top of Pulse, and then Pulse does a 30x, you get 90x's everywhere. See? So the opportunity is huge. But of course, you can't just go buy everything. We know that, right? So that's why we do our research. We're here 18 hours a day. Now, moving on to some fun stuff, friends. Here is Iggy Azalea. Yes, Eric, we are friends. Eric, will she remember me? So here is Iggy. I think she's wearing a cowgirl hat. She is hugging Eric, right? I faded HEX again. So obviously this is just me having some fun in there. Now remember, friends, Eric, I'm just letting you know, bro. You're cursed, okay? I've got the candle here, bro. I haven't forgotten about you, okay? Or keep lighting the candle for you, but I'm just letting you know. You basically, okay, I'm going to explain this to Eric in terms he can understand. Eric, you know the HEX chart, right? So Eric is up here, all right? Eric, he comes up here, and now he's got cursed, but he doesn't know it yet, all right? That's the HEX chart. Hexicans did the Coffin Dance up here, and they got cursed. They didn't know it yet. And of course, you don't know it yet. You're euphoric. You have pride and ego. Like, hey, everything's great. But then what ends up happening is we come back down. Now, friends, there are, I don't want to name them, but there's some few hexagons where, please don't take this personally, friends, because it happens to all of us. Don't worry. We use each other as signals. We're here to help each other, okay? So it's not, no one's picking on you, but there are people where they'll like emphatically calling the bottom on HEX when it was only down like this much. It was like down here, right? It was back down to 30 cents. So it went from like 50 back down to like, 23. And they're like, okay, bottom's in. We have bottom, next stop $1, $2. And look, we're all hopeful as well. But like, you got to remember now I'm talking to Eric, right? Eric was watching this and he's like, no way you guys are bottom, man. He goes, look how much you've run up. Because all you're looking at is like this little short-term thing. You go, okay, I've come back down here. And Eric's looking at, no. You've gone up like, look at this bubble. Look at this bubble, right? So basically, hoping that the curse is just lifted because of some fun menage a trois with Iggy, where she's like, half embarrassing him, but it's funny. It's self-deprecating humor. Everyone's having a good time. I wish it was that simple, man. I really wish. It's like, the bottom's in. I guess I really did get cursed. No. You got this part coming, bro. This part comes next. I'm going to remove the super trend. Okay, that's what I just want you to understand. That part comes next. So, but look, there's an up part too. This is it. So, yay, we're celebrating every small win. So, just if you're sitting on the sideline, friends, and you get euphoria, don't put other people down. Even if, let's say you got a bone to pick with someone, they're like you're getting revenge on someone. Okay, have your day in the sun, shine, the trophy cabinet, whatever. There will be a point though where they're on the floor. Okay, don't spit on their bodies. Don't get the jerry can and then light them on fire and then piss on them and then light them on fire again. Okay, don't do that. And then don't go to their graves and dance on the graves. Don't do that, because now you become the very curse that you're trying to stop the whole time. That end up going too far. Okay, that's what ends up happening. And look, there are many examples that have happened. Many main characters in crypto. It happens to all main characters. Like with main characters, like just that's what I'm saying. Like Ansem, just watch out. This main character, the fall from the grace friends, it always ends up the same way. Look, this is the scary part, and I want to speak about CZ soon because this is really important. It even happened to CZ. CZ didn't steal money from anyone. He didn't do anything like that. Okay, CZ, crowd favorite. CZ sold his house to go in BTC. He's a very principled, moral man like that. Okay, he's got some, of course, he's got some stuff in the closet. Everyone's got skeletons in the closet. You know what I mean? Like, let's see the hats I've got waiting there. You know what I mean? I've got a Donald Trump wig in there, and then the Renaissance man, the balding Renaissance man. You see, but they even went for CZ. I just want you to know. So even if you say nothing, if the crowd spotlight comes on you too much, I don't know why this happens, man. This is friends, some sort of chakra or I don't know what the hell this is, but this attention and energy, it's interesting. When people give attention and energy to something, it happens in coins as well. It attracts more people. It's a vortex. It just sucks more people. It sucks more energy in for a good thing. But here's the thing. Eventually, it exhausts itself. And then people's attention moves away. It's almost like all of us have like this consciousness where we focus on something and our will and our desires can make something like accelerate in popularity and in strength and in energy. We can all actually will things into existence and manifest it. But then eventually you run out. You run out of patience, or you just run out of time, or it brings in too many short-term people. That's what happens. Too many non-believers come in and then they dwarf what you are. That's the price going up too much, attention coming up too much. Then you can't possibly sustain that because these people, they've never committed to anything in their lives. You know, they won't even commit to a diet for more than 3 weeks. So how the hell you expect them to commit to a coin that's dropped 70% after 6 months? They'll just keep taking the losses, minus 70, minus 80, minus 90%, okay? So I'm helping you understand these things, friends, and I only was able to, after 18 hours a day, see these weird obscurities happen out here, because this is the type of stuff, okay? That's how you become a billionaire, okay? You don't become a billionaire by look at Solana's transactions per second. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm a Wall Street guy, okay? That doesn't actually make you the billionaire. What makes you the billionaire is being a peanut brain, okay? Actually being a peanut brain, you're like, oh my gosh, the moon cycles, when there's a full moon, that's going to be the lower high dump of every Bitcoin in the bear market. By the way, that's an ode to literally 2022. Every full moon, we just had bad shit happening in 2022. You all remember. It was always a full moon, okay? That period will come again. But for now, we've got the upside fence. CZ is coming outside of jail in 6 days. That's important news. But look at this news. Binance CEO says CZ is banned from managing or operating the exchange. Okay, so this is from the plea deal. Okay, he's prohibited from any present or future involvement. Now, why do they do this? Okay, obviously, why they do this is your friend Sommi, who's going to cover it because the rest of the industry won't. Okay, the reason is because the US government wants Coinbase to take over the volume of crypto, right? Because, see, they have BTC, USDT. Now, they've already got operatives. They've already got Fed agents in Tether. Okay, Tether's not running a Ponzi, friends. They have $100 billion of US treasuries, bro. Trust me. If they were running a Ponzi, trust me, Tether would have taken us Bitcoin down to $1,000 back in 2022. They ain't running a Ponzi, okay? Now, they want all the volume to be in BTC, USDC. However, it seems like Tether is playing ball with the government. Okay, so first it was hard for them to contact Tether. You know that they were being sneaky. It's very hard to do a lot of things in terms of communication. This was back in 2022. Then they hired Fed agents in Tether. So now Tether plays ball, but the government was doing something else. What was the other thing else? I reported back in 2022. The government, their number one goal was to get the BTC USDC volume as the highest volume pair in crypto. Because once they can control that, they can route all the ETFs in it. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then guess what? They can control the USDC leg of that. If they get everybody's volume in there, because they want to have 50% control of the transactions, friends. They can't control Bitcoin, but what else can they do? If they can control the USDC, they have half the power locked in. Okay? So that's what it comes down to. Now, CZ wasn't playing ball. He made his own stablecoin, BUSD. Remember, friends? Friends, the US, no, look, I told you, man, the US Fed has a fourth secret shadow puppet wing arm. It's called the corrupt SEC. The corrupt SEC was told, go after CZ, and that's why they were making $2 billion of profit. You know that? CZ's BUSD, okay, the Binance USD, it was literally, it had $1 to $2 billion of profit. It was a $20 billion asset already, and they cut it. They had to shut it down. They had to shut it down. They shut it down, and they got the ETF to do the volumes. Now they're allowed to start back up again. They've already lost the game. They did it on purpose. So they came in, they literally, unfortunately, gave the middle finger. They penetrated CZ. Okay, they literally did that. You all saw it. It was all orchestrated. There was no reason to shut down BUSD. There was no Ponzi. There was no nothing. It was all working fine. They cut it down. Why? Because they want the stablecoin control. They must, because that's what they want, friends. They can control the stablecoins. Okay, so Roca Negra needs total control, and they obviously were not given all the inside scoop at Binance because CZ would not play ball and break the people's trust. This is the type of corrupt request that the corrupt SEC wanted from Richard Hart. They want to gag influential leaders. That's what it comes down to, friends. That's why the gagging of that, I know a lot of these politicians do this weird shit in the bedrooms as well, you know, where they get gagged, you know what I mean? They don't do the gagging, okay? This power play, weird sexual stuff. So that's obviously in a nutshell. That's what we're looking at right now. It's crypto is here to stay. Okay, so even after hearing all that, you're like, just chill out. Just chill out, little Jimmy, and chill out, little Timmy. It means crypto is here to stay because the government has found the way to regulate. They've found the way to control. If you know anything about the government, friends, if they can control it, you're allowed to walk around. You ever wonder why there's always these insiders in big drug cartels and gangs? Yeah. Oh, gee, I wonder why. Maybe there's some links going. There is some links going on there. That's why they're allowed to operate. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Okay? The worst fear is the fear of the unknown. I'm sure, friends, you've heard it all around the world. There are always these major cities where the governments, they know all the gangs and the leaders. Okay? Sorry, the police. They know that. They just don't go take him down because they go, well, if I take him out, I'm going to get this. Someone's going to start up somewhere else. We have no information on anybody. We can't get anything. You see? So they're always looking for these outskirts and stuff. That's the same thing when it comes to the government. Now, after hearing that, I want to have some fun, right? This is Bart holding this little Krusty the Clown. My investments are with great companies. They will come back. Denial, denial, denial. So, yes, this is, I know you hear all this, like, oh, what's all this happening? Don't worry. It's all right. It's okay, friends. You got to understand. Look, if you want to make it in this game, you have to be long with your portfolio, but mentally, you got to understand that the game can switch at any moment, and everything's incentivized to keep the game going, by the way, because I want to accumulate power. However, it can switch off at any moment. But I think, okay, why would they pause their power accumulation if like what conditions would make them pause the power accumulation? That's what you have to think about. Too much euphoria. Too much maybe burning of the US dollar. Too much of Bitcoin going up too fast. They have to control stuff. You see? So if your mind is open to that, then you at least think of the scenarios where it could happen. And that's how it eventually leads you to stuff like, wow, we got a lot of retailers in. Wow, there's a lot of mum and dads in Bitcoin and stuff, and Bitcoin ETF, and Bitcoin's 200K, and they're saying we're going to flip the US dollar, and we're dog shit, stepping on everyone. You see what I mean? Once you start seeing all those appear, then you're like, oh, wait a minute. The odds of them flipping the switch, and they go, you know what? Let's pause our power accumulation for a year, give them a bear market. That if you're just open to that, I know it's all time and stuff, friends, but if you're just open to that, it'll help you make the right decisions. Because the last thing you want to be doing is taking on more leverage when all the weak hand alerts are coming in. You know, whether the alert signals are coming in. Okay, when Tai Lopez is coming in. Also, I got a good comment here from Sovereign Fish, right? It's always good to question things, friends. Here we are again. Consensus is that a God pump is right around the corner. Q4 is basically guaranteed up only. Every smooth brain about it is posting up and to the right charts. Meanwhile, BTC is in the middle of another failed rally, another low. I'm sick to my stomach. Yes, sir. Let me tell you this. It's true. However, okay, you're thinking about, okay, let's say there's 100 people in a room. You're saying, oh, 30 are trapped. Now, in the past 2 years, whenever we hit like 10 to 30 people trapped, we end up like sinking down, right? But eventually we get all 100 people trapped in the room. That is you going up only. Eventually we do. But you got to understand, right before that run, you have 30 people trapped. You see? So you have 30 people long and trapped and believing in the next thing around the corner. So yeah, it goes from 30 back down to 0, 30 back down to 0, 30 back down to 0. But one of these days, one of the 30s becomes, oh, now 40 people trapped. Now 50 people trapped. Now 60, now 70. Then back down to 40. Then back up to 70. Then it hits just full 100 people trapped. Now you're trying to figure out, hey, when is everyone trapped? When the non-believers are in. So you do concede that eventually it does come. But yes, being leveraged long, betting that the 0 to 100 trap comes in, yeah, it's very tough, isn't it? Because you get to see all the cycle plays in the past year and a half. It's very exhausting. That's why you don't do leverage. That's why if you're in spot, you just hold in all the coins, friends. You don't have to worry because you're like, okay, if you're going to fake us out, like if Bitcoin goes back down to 55K and then it has to make us wait another 6 months, that's okay. Right, that's not the end of the world. But yeah, there are people like with big leverage positions on and stuff on right now, right? They need it to go up like 2 days. So we're not in that position. That's why we play it to our advantage. So baby dolls, I want to leave you with this, okay? This is you going to Winnipeg, and this is the worst crypto cycle ever. So yeah, it really is like that by performance and everything. But I want to remind you, you can't give up no matter how bad it ever gets. Don't stop believing. You can't give up, friends. I've gone through so many scenarios in the past where just not just crypto, stocks. I'm like, man, if there was ever a time for this thing to go to 0, it had to be then. And it didn't, man. It didn't. Look, I was in your shoes as a young pup once upon a time, and I just could not see when the news attacks you, okay? I'm just like, how can we ever get past this? How? Then I started seeing, oh, we always fix the issue. Now, you can stop there if you want, okay? You can stop there. You go, oh, they always fix the issue, and then go on and live your life. But then a few things happen, friends. The Jenga towers fell. You got some aliens, UFO tech, Ashton's doing citizen journaling with the MH370 plane that disappeared from the US Army tech and wormholing stuff. Too many things have happened where you can now see that, interesting, do they always fix the solution, or do they have an incentive to bring about the problem, start the fire first, and then water it out to make it look like they're the good guys so they can keep and retain power and actually absorb more money, more power, more control? Once you start to think like that, you start going off the edge a bit. But you become a great investor. You become a great investor, friends, because if you watch any of these channel friends, you see like there are some spooky fractals of times. You're like, how the hell? Okay, we're going to get bad. Why is it on this event? You see the crazy shit we saw, like full moon cycle stuff, friends. The full moons, if you go back to 2022, man, this is the most wildest shit. Friends, it was wild. I have the full moon cycle here. I just had to show you, man. There was some, friends, you can't time it exactly with this chart here, okay? The chart doesn't show you. But the prices, when we had these full moons, I remember in 2022, this is the strangest part. So the price would move, then on the full moon, the bad news would come out. And it was always a full moon. It was always a full moon. And then you would get even more capitulations in the altcoins. And we just saw this all the time in 2022. And I remember, it's funny. Everyone who's been here is from 2022. We all believe in moon cycles now. Because we saw it. We saw it actually happen. It was like the trigger, the catalyst. So we're on this like continuum. These cycles go up and down. But the timing of them, it's just, there's a lot of quirky things that happen. Pretty much, you sit here long enough, friends, and you really do see, right? The actual JP Morgan, right? The actual one from like 100 years ago, basically said, yeah, all billionaires pretty much use this woo-woo astrology stuff. So as long as if your mind is open to that, friends, and by the way, what I'm even saying is not controversial. Anybody who studied government history and policy for the past 100 years at any point in period, they totally believe that the government sets the fires and then puts the extinguisher on it. They make it look like they're the good guys. They totally do that. That's why it helps you navigate remember fake World War III FUD this year? Fake World War III FUD. And like, oh, this thing comes out of this. And it's like they just pick it out somewhere and they just dangle it in front of you. Get scared. Throw it out back here. You see that? Oh, move on to something else. It's just crazy how we're all synced. Now, when I read this info, I am equally as my heart beats with you. I'm like, oh, crap, we're selling and this news. Because you're thinking, oh, better not be the big one, the big black swan. But 99% of the time, it just disappears again. It just disappears again, friend. That's why you eventually get to this point where you really do see it. Now, if you're holding long term, you just walk away. The problem with crypto is you can't do that for everything because you miss out on like some extremely opportunistic, life-changing gains. We do, right? Like looking for top signals, for example. Do you really want to be holding if Ty Lopez is here and Bitcoin's at 220K? No, you don't. You see what I mean? So it's worth sitting through the pain. And hopefully we're going to get to the other side. There's a pot of gold waiting at the end of that rainbow. Like, subscribe, bell button, or catch you the next one.